Well, hi folks, just give you another roundup. It's probably been a good 3 weeks since my last one, since you've seen the lot, so just start off in the greenhouse again where things are ripening up aplenty now. Remember a few weeks ago I couldn't get anything to ripen, but now they're all just going mad. As soon as one starts, they all just go. So getting some fantastic crops of chillies now. Really nice sized tomatoes. Some of these are a bit cracked, look a bit funny, but they're fine to eat. I don't know what that one is, but nevertheless they're all good. Chillies, getting some really nice long chillies on now, just starting to ripen. As you see, they go sort of black, green to black to red. They're the Joe's long cayennes. Likewise the prairie fires, got some nice sized chillies on, just starting to ripen in the middle. Little cucumbers still holding on, growing up a bit further now, and still getting some little diddy ones setting even this late on, so still can't complain. The long peppers, been loving these fried, just chopping them up and frying them like they do in Spain, cutting them in half and doing them in a frying pan. They're absolutely gorgeous, really sweet oxhorn peppers. What else have we got? Cucumbers, again, this is the longer one. Still getting some nice ones on, even though the plant's looking absolutely tired out now. So had a good crop of those this year. And then the big tomatoes, getting some nice ones, just starting to ripen off down there. They're the same as the giant ones in the polytunnel, but I'm just using these to eat. I've got a big one there. I'm going to try and get it as big as possible, so I'm covering it up to keep the sun off so it grows a bit longer. But really, stuff's really ripening up now quickly, so it's all good in the greenhouse. September, so it'll be slowing down, really slowing down now that the nights are cooling down. So that's it in the greenhouse. We'll have a nip up to the plot and I'll show you what's going on up there. Well, hi folks, here we are up at the plot, so I'll just show you what's going on, what little is going on now, coming towards the end of the year. I've taken my peas down as I saw before. I might plant some turnips in there just to get a little quick crop, I think. So I'll use the soil that's already there and just sow a few roughly. I won't thin them out, and they should be alright. Get a few for Christmas and stuff like that. Still got plenty of spring onions. They're doing really well now. Just picking like a clump at a time of these, because they're in clumps of 4 or 5. Just pull the whole bunch up and eat them as you need them. The savoys are absolutely brilliant still. I thought some of them might have exploded, but they're staying firm without splitting. And this is a real beauty here. It's a monster, that one. But no, they've been good. I didn't think they'd keep, but I'm surprised they have, so that's good. And if you can see the later January savoys, which will hold into winter, they're looking good. They're just starting to heart up now, so that's good. They should be a lot hardier and hold on into the winter with all the cold weather. So like I say, I've pulled all the shallots up. You saw me harvesting those, and the garlic, so the half of this bed's empty now. Got about a dozen lettuce left now, so that'll do until sort of the end of September, middle of September, and then by then it's getting too cold anyway up here to be growing any lettuce. As you can see, the potatoes have fallen down because all my strings have snapped my supports, but it's no big deal. They're still growing away well. These are the Sarpos. If you saw me harvest the potatoes, the King Edwards, because they got blight, got a really good crop. Was chuffed to bits with those, but if you can see with the Sarpos, not a spot of blight apparent at all. So like I say, they'll just keep growing and growing until the frost really. So October time even, I've had them before, so hopefully I'm hoping for a really good crop of those. Again, on the potato front, I've got one big pot here. It's about a 50 litre pot, and I put about 4 or 5 Sarpos in it, and I've been feeding it all sorts of stuff, loads of fertiliser, really over fertilising it, just to see what you can get out of a pot, you know, see if you can get something ridiculous like 30 or 40 pounds out of a pot. So they are Sarpos, they should keep growing, so we'll see what that's like and see if we do get a bumper crop or not. Right folks, into the next bit now. If you can see, look at that, look at the kale. It's like some kind of mutant plant. Never seen anything grow as prolifically as that. It's just crazy, and you just keep taking the leaves. It's just huge bushes, and they'll stand all over winter. They're the toughest of crops. Just keep picking all the leaves, and they're fantastic, really good. The second lot of cabbages, this has got a few red cabbages in. which are now starting to heart up, which is quite pleasing really. I just tried those for a change. I haven't grown them for a few years, but no, they're looking okay. And I've put a few more of the savoys in too, and as you can see again, absolutely huge. I weighed one the other day and it was, I mean, I'm not trying to grow them big, it's just they just seem to have grown big naturally. So I cut one and it was like £10, but it lasts you like 2 weeks for a family, so they're a bit too big if you ask me, but there's not a lot you can do. The leeks, like I say, I'm not growing many, 24 or 30 or so. They're quite small, but it'll do me. They're okay, doing okay. This is where all the onions were. I've dug all them up now, weeded them. A few more lettuce. The turnips, I've never seen a more quick growing crop than turnips. I don't know whether there's anything below yet, but I'll just have a look. It's a bit dark now. Just, if it can get in, just starting to form the roots. And again, they should stand quite well into winter because they're as tough as old boots. So that's another little crop to be picking in winter, autumn and winter. The peas are absolutely battered by mildew now. Always the case with me. Once it gets to September, mildew arrives like clockwork and just finishes them off totally. Right, the marrows. Not a big success this year. The plants are nowhere near as big as last year. They've just been so cold, and after we had that flood, oh excuse me, they just sort of gave up the ghost. There's one under there, that's the biggest. I won't show you that until I actually pull it out, but I'll show you the smaller one. It may be big, it's just me getting used to growing big ones. I just, you know, sometimes you get a bit blasé about it. Anyway, that's one of them. That's a big tube of slug pellets for scale. So it's quite a big one, maybe getting 40–50 pounds, but I was hoping for £100 this year, but I've no chance of getting that now, this late on. If you see, look, the leaves are looking yellow, they'll be getting mildew soon as well, which just finishes the plant off. So all hopes are resting on this one, under the foam to keep the sun off it, stop it going ripe. It's a little bit bigger than the other one, but I'm not holding out any hopes, but you never know, I'll let it grow and see how big we get eventually. Well, we'll just finish off in the polytunnel. Show you what's going on. Not much again. All the onions have been lifted. Planting some more French beans now. Whether I get a crop of these, I do not know, but you've got to try it. If we get an Indian summer, might get a crop. They probably only need about 6 weeks, so if any frosts hold off, we might get a go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, and all that sort of stuff. The courgettes still powering away. I've just taken a few off yesterday actually, but as you can see, still taking in. That's me keeping it upright like that and growing it up, and they just keep coming and coming. It's brilliant. Again, French beans finished, the main crop, so I've dug those up. Nothing going in there yet, really. I've got some brassicas growing and lettuce and stuff, so I might put those in. Cucumbers still just ticking away slowly. These are the mini ones. Not looking the most healthiest of plants, but still producing the fruit. That's all you're bothered about. Right, this is where I'm drying the banana shallots out. People have said, how do you dry your shallots and your garlic and stuff out? Well, basically I put it up on racks, like there's some wire under there. Spread it out in my polytunnel, keep all the doors open all the time, so there's plenty of air getting through. And really, I just leave it for basically just until the first frost, so just get as much air around it, sunshine on it. Like the garlic there, I've topped the leaves off, I've left a foot of stalk on. Give it as much air. I'll actually lift it up onto a rack of chicken wire a bit later on to get some air really circulating around it. But really it's just a matter of letting it all dry up, shrivel up, and then get it as dry as possible, and take it home, chop the leaves off and store them, and hopefully if it's anything like as good as normal, it should be okay. Right, the first carrots will be coming out this Friday night for my first show, so that'll be a good test pull, see what they're like. The stump carrots, so see if all this work's been worthwhile or whether there's a load of horrible things underneath. These are just going for Harrogate, so the long ones, but I've got a box outside that I'll be pulling as well, so I'll try and do a video of that, even though it's going to be a bit hectic getting ready for the show. Right, I've sowed a few cabbages. These are just greyhound, which will be planted in this main bed here once they're big enough, and a few more lettuce, the multi-green again, and a few more little spring onions there, which I'll be just chucking in this bed, filling it up. Might not get the best crop, but we'll have something growing. into autumn and early winter. Right, the giant carrots. Now I actually pulled the two big split ones up, and I'll put a picture on in a second if I can. So I'll put a picture on now, and when I pulled them, and believe it or not, you won't believe the weight. So I'll just put a picture up. And they were actually, the biggest one was 8.5 pounds, which is absolutely ridiculous. So it's just been a real laugh growing those. But these look even bigger, and these could have multi legs on them, but probably smaller underneath. But we will see. But anyway, it's been a good fun, idiot proof, just growing them early and feeding them loads of fertiliser. The red onions, tried some bigger ones this year, and they're not really big at all. They're quite big, but nothing like I've grown in the past. The giant tomatoes, you remember I grew one to, I think it was £2.14 ounce or something like that. And I've been eating them. Look, I've been letting them just go ripe and eating them now. They're absolutely wonderful, chopped up in a Greek salad. Like proper size of your hand. Right folk, my battery ran out on my last one. I put my spare one in, this is about to run out. Right, got another giant one going there. Hoping this is going to keep going for another week or two. Might get it in at Harrogate. Rushing now, got a big flashing battery on the screen. So anyway, thankfully that's about it for you and me. Sorry, for me and probably you. So that's about it folks, I think. If I can get out before this bloody battery runs out, I will say I'll see you later, and I hope this video's worked because it's been going off for about the last 2 or 3 goes with this battery. So see you later folks.